Let's go ahead and start in mountain pose. And just go ahead and make your way up to the top of your mat. We'll take a few moments here as we prepare for our practice. You might even start with a few deep breaths. You can just breathe in through your nose. And you might exhale through the mouth with a nice sigh. Feel how your shoulders relax. Even check in with your body, from just head to foot. With your head, you might just gently move your ear to shoulder or nod yes. Gently shake your head no. Down to your shoulders, just a little circle of the shoulders. I like to get into the joints a little bit, so you might even just circle your arms at the elbows, your wrists, wiggle your fingers. Working down the body, check in with your hips, your knees, your ankles and toes. You could just keep that gentle movement and flow of the body, or just find yourself in stillness. Just continue to focus on your breath. This could be done with eyes opened. If your eyes are open, just gaze forward or downward at the ground, or close your eyes. Look inward. As you're breathing, you might feel breath rising upward, filling up your lungs, followed by a slow and controlled exhale, where you might draw your navel in towards your spine. Just a light contraction of the abdominal muscles. Doesn't have to be too strong. Just an awareness of your center. Again, an inhale, just feel the lengthening of the spine as your breath rises to fill your lungs, your heart space. Exhale, connecting to center. Even in these first few moments of our practice, you're already doing yoga. This mindfulness, awareness, stillness. Continue with breath, knowing that your breath not only brings you here to this moment, it will start to guide you through this moving practice. Refocusing on some rotations. I'm calling this class Rotational Fluidity. So some twisting. And a little bit of neck work too. Just awareness of the neck area. And just a reminder, this is your practice. Move as you need to move. Modify as you need to. Rest when you need to. Let's take 3 more breaths. Deep, cleansing breaths. Generating energy in the body as we prepare our bodies to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just treat it like a nice stretch. Reach all the way up. And exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. You might fold enough where you're able to touch your toes, but you don't have to fold all the way down. It could be a partial fold where your hands land at your shins. Then inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit to help extend your spine so you're long and flat like a table. And exhale, just fold again, just to the place where it feels just right for you. We'll hold here for several breaths. Awareness. Just awareness of how this feels for you. Notice where sensation is arising for you in this position. And just as you did in your mountain pose, you can just hold in stillness or add a little movement here. Again, there might be a circling of the shoulders, more movement in the head and neck. A little sway of your whole upper body left and right a few times. Let's just do another halfway lift. So an inhale, sliding your hands up the legs, just lifting up halfway, forming that long tabletop position. Exhale, we'll fold. And we'll make our way back up to standing. Shifting your weight into your heels, bend your knees. Feel like you're going to sit down into a low chair. Look forward, help extend your spine, then spread your wings. Yes, then inhale, rising up, reaching into the sky. Then exhale, you can bring your palms together down to your heart or bring your arms down to your side, either one. We'll just hold for a moment. Take a breath. Good, let's do that one more time. Go at your own pace. Inhale, reaching out and up. Another nice stretch. Exhale, leading with your heart. Fold forward, bending your knees as much as you need to. Come to that comfortable forward fold for you. Inhale, rise up halfway. Feel the crown of your head lead you forward. Nice extension of the spine. Exhale, back down. Here we go. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees, elongate through your spine, and inhale, reverse your swan dive. Let's come all the way back up. Reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, hands to heart or arms to your side. Good. So we've introduced movement to the body, moving with breath. We'll just continue. We'll just be adding on to our sequences as we build them. Here's our sun salute. Inhale, reaching out and up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, let's rise up halfway or just feel that nice extension of your spine. As you exhale, fold. Bend your knees enough so you can get low enough to place your hands on your mat and walk or step or even hop both feet back to the back end of your mat. We'll pause here for a moment. Plank pose. Top of a push-up. Breathe in. And your exhale, bend your knees a little. Send your hips up into the air. This is our shortcut to downward facing dog. Usually start with that flow. Later on, we'll be adding those other postures in the sun salute, chaturanga, to an up dog, into a down dog. But you can always use this shortcut throughout the practice. Good. As you arrive in the posture, just step into place. If you need to adjust your feet, like stepping forward a tiny bit, or adjust your hands, do so. Hold in stillness or add movement. Wherever you are, breathing. Let's get ready to move. Breathing in to fill up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly in, nice core engagement. Bend your knees to walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of your mat to a forward fold. Perfect. Inhale, lengthening through your spine. Feel like you're coming forward. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming up. We're going to keep this moving. With the exhale, take chair pose or a chair-like position. Now, you don't have to sit back and down too deeply unless you'd like to. This is about where I end the pose, but you're welcome to sit down a little deeper if you'd like. Okay? You can keep the arms straight. You can certainly bend your elbows. Yep. Breathing in. We'll exhale to dive out of the seat. Down towards toes, forward fold, adding on. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. I'll call it monkey pose. Exhale, fold. All the way down we go. Plant your hands into the mat. Hop or step both feet back. Here's plank pose. You can take that same shortcut to down dog, or breathe in, lengthening, then exhale to finish the push-up, coming down, bending the elbows, lowering your way down if you'd like. For your back bend, it could be a low cobra or an upward-facing dog. That's where I am right now. And exhale onto your toes, lifting knees, then hips into the air, downward-facing dog. Take a moment just to adjust your feet and hands, fully arrive in the posture. Let's add our lunges. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, picking up the foot, reaching back. Yes. Exhale, step right foot up to the top of the mat. In your right hand, let's turn left heel to the floor behind you. Even shift your weight back into that foot so your hands feel light. You can easily lift, hinging from your hips, facing forward, arms straight up. This is Warrior One. And exhale, just hinge at the hips, folding forward, hands plant into the mat. We'll slide or pull that right foot back, plank pose. Make your way to down dog. You can take that shortcut or a variation of any flow that you'd like. Maybe knees to the floor first to finish your push-up if you'd like. Inhale, cobra, up dog, sphinx, lots of variations of your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Arriving in your posture. Then inhale, extend left leg up and back, find the wall behind you. Good. Exhale, stepping through. Left foot to the top. Once you've landed, turn right heel to the floor behind you. Shift your weight back into that back foot so you have balance. Hands are light. Hinge from hips rising up. Good. Reaching. Yes. Exhale, hinge and fold like you're Closing the lid of a box, placing hands on the mat, pull or slide that left foot back. There's plank pose, and complete your series as you'd like. There you go. Perfect. And just meet up together in downward facing dog. We'll always meet there. Holding for a moment. Check in with your head and neck. Maybe just nod yes a few times. Sometimes we hold tension in our necks and heads in downward facing. I know I do. And so just kind of open your mouth and yawn. And then shake your head a little bit. Let's come down to the earth. You're going to bend your knees, kneel down. Sit back briefly in hero, just getting off the hands. Sit off to the side and just swing the legs around to the front. And scoot just to sit in the center of your mat. We're going to roll onto our backs for a back bend. You're welcome to use a block for this if you'd like. I'll give you 2 ways you can use your block. Once you're down, go ahead and hug both knees into chest. You can add some movement here, a little gentle massage for your back and hips. We're getting ready for a back bend or bridge pose. When you're ready, go ahead and plant your feet into the ground, knees bent. One thing you could do with the block is actually place the block between the knees and hold on to the block. That's one way you can use the block if you'd like to. Or after you've lifted, with an exhale, lifting hips into the air, you can slide a block underneath you and actually sit on the block. Choose the height that you like. It's a little bit more supportive if you need it. Okay, just an option. You can even just use your hands and lift yourself up. Another way to brace your body in this posture is to bend your arms at 90 degrees. Yes, and press down into the mat with the backs of your arms, your shoulders, perfect. And you'll find that your upper body may lift a little higher. You can hold it up a little stronger. There we go, good. Just feel the energy of this pose. Very active. As you're able, a nice deep breath to fill up the lungs right up to the collarbones. And the exhale, there's still that core engagement, still drawing belly in as you're able. Nice. 2 more breaths. All right. Removing the blocks if you're using them, then wiggle the feet forward a little, making space in the low back. You might extend your arms straight up into the air, making more space, and then roll your way down to the ground. Here you might extend your body, extend the legs out front, reach your arms behind you for a nice stretch. And we're going to stay on the floor for our first twist. So let's bend the knees again, feet on the floor, but take your feet right out to the edges of your mat. So the legs will be pretty wide. We're going to slowly start taking the knees to the left and just let them come down. Now this will affect the right leg the most because it's doing an inner rotation or an inner spiral of the right leg. So you might feel this in that low back region. We're not going to hold here too long. We're just kind of introducing our rotation in the body. If you want a bit more sensation in that right side, extend your right arm behind you as if you're reaching for the wall behind you. Maybe for a couple of breaths. A little stretch sensation, making space. We really want to make space through the sides of the body as we do some rotations here too. All right, you can bring that right arm down. Let's bring the knees back up to center. Pause here for a bit of realignment. And then gently take the knees to the other side. And they don't have to reach the floor, it's just a little twist until you have sensation. Again, now it's affecting the left side, the inner spiral of that left leg, affecting the low back, hip, maybe extending the left arm behind you if you'd like. Good, just 2 more breaths. You can bring the arm back down by your side. Let's bring the knees back up to center. Pause. Let's get ready to stand now, to sit up. You can take both knees to one side and press yourself up, or hug both knees in toward your body and rock yourself up, either one. We'll come to boat pose. Now you can do boat pose with heels on the floor, something like this, with a lengthened spine at an angle, or lean back until the feet do float into the air. They're both correct. I like to start here with bent knees, holding on to the legs to ensure an extended spine. But once you've got that core engagement, you can certainly release. Yep. A couple of breaths here. Ready to flow. We'll breathe in. Feel like you're floating off the ground. Then exhale, maybe crossing legs, hands in front to hop back into plank, or even just hands to the side, and just swing or step the feet back. Make your way into plank pose. Hold. Strong straight line. Let's take a shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, hips into the air. And we'll continue with our lunge sequence. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up. Good. Let's open this up. Bend your knee. Bring your heel down towards your backside. That's just like that. A little lift of that knee up towards the ceiling. Doesn't have to lift too high. And what you're doing, you're creating a hip opener. You're opening up towards the right side of the room, but there's also a little bit of a rotation that's happening mid-back. Very nice. Breathe in right where you are. And exhale to unwind and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel will turn to the ground. Find that center. Find that balance. Then float up. Inhale, warrior one. You've got it. Both feet flat on the ground. Exhale, opening to your warrior two. Yeah, make some adjustments with your feet so you feel balanced. Check in with your knee joints. Make sure your right knee and your toes are pointing forward for the most part. Feel tall, lengthened spine. Good job. Here's our side angle pose. Let's reach forward, angled upper body, rotate the arms. Reach down, reach up. Opening. So a nice opening through the heart space. Definitely a hip opener. Good. Stay here, but you're going to bring your left hand down behind you, just to your low back. And if you can, roll this left shoulder back or just pull it back so a little bit more of a heart opening. Let's check in with our neck. I mentioned we're going to do a little neck work. So first, just look down at your right foot. Just look down at the floor. Okay. Now look out the window or to the left side of the room. Okay. Now look up towards the ceiling. Okay, come back to neutral, looking out the window. Okay. And let the right ear drop towards right shoulder. Good. And just back up to neutral. Let's inhale, re-extend left hand up into the air. We're going to turn, fold, bring the hands down to the mat. Let's step back into plank pose. Strong straight line. It's a nice realignment of the body as well. We'll just take another shortcut to down dog. Bend knees, hips into the air. Adjust the feet. Tiptoe forward a little bit if you need to. Hips are nice and high in the pose. Other side, inhale, extend left leg up. Reaching back, feel that straight line, then open the hip by bending the knee. A little lift of the knee up towards the ceiling, a little twist or turn, yes, towards the left side of the room. It's a hip opener. That twist kind of initiates in mid-spine. Yes. Breathe in right where you are. And exhale, we'll unwind it, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Take your time with these transitions as you need to. Right heel turns to the floor. Feel grounded, and then find your center. There you go. Rise up, warrior one. Reach, exhale, expand and open to your warrior two. Then adjust. Find your grounding. Yep. Tall torso, outstretched arms. Here comes side angle, reaching out. Rotate the arms. You can stay up high. I typically stay up high in this pose. You can do the same. You can certainly go lower. The arm can rest on the thigh. Fingers might touch the ground or bring in a block, okay? Just listen to what your body needs or wants at this moment. You can always change. Good heart and hip opening right here. Stay in the posture. Just bring your right arm down behind you, right hand down behind you. And maybe roll that shoulder back just to open up through the heart space a bit more. And then we'll do our neck work. So look down at the floor at your left foot. Then to the right side of the room, neutral neck. Carefully look up towards the ceiling, past right shoulder. And then neutral neck again, looking at the right side of the room. And bring left ear towards left shoulder. Lift the head back to neutral. Then when inhale, re-extend the right arm up into the air. Exhale, here we go. Turning, folding, hands back down. Slide that left foot back. Okay, shortcut to down dog, or finish the vinyasa. Chaturanga Dandasana if you like. Inhale to an up dog or a cobra pose or any back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale, core connection, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, extend through the spine, our monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come on up, reaching high. Maybe tip chin up a little bit. Exhale, hands to heart or arms to your side. Good, just take a breath as we complete that series. So we're going to get into a chair pose with a twist. You're welcome to use a block here. Okay, you might place the block between the knees or thighs just to squeeze to center, just to help stabilize the hips. Okay, and to remind you of hugging to center. Okay, so we got the block between the thighs. We'll stand up tall. We'll just have the arms by your side here. So when you're ready, an inhale, let's shoot the arms straight up. Exhale, take your chair pose. Again, it can be a high seat. It can certainly be a low seat. Make sure you don't lose your block. Bring hands to heart center. When you inhale, feel the extension of your spine. It's like you're trying to get out of the chair, just lengthening through the spine. Exhale, pull belly in, squeeze your blocks, and a mild rotation to the right. My rotations aren't very far or deep. I have a pretty sensitive back, and so I don't have to turn too far to get the benefit of the rotation. So be mindful of what your body needs, how this feels for you. Yes. Just as long as you feel like, okay, my feet feel planted on the floor, balanced, my knees are aligned, the block is helping with that. That means your hips are aligned. That's perfect. You want to also feel like your hips are moving to the back end of your mat. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, unwind, even place your hands on your thighs and push into your thighs to help you stand up and reach up into the air to finish. And we'll continue chair pose once again. High seat or low seat. Bring hands to heart center. Here we go. Breathing in to extend spine. Exhale, pull belly in, squeeze your block, and a rotation to your left. That's it. Just like that. Okay. A sensation that your hips and tailbone are moving to the back end of your mat. Nicely aligned. It's just a straight line. Your crown or the top of your head is pointing forward, or even feels like it's coming this direction. You've got it. A little squeeze of the block, keeping hips aligned. That's your rotation. Breathe in. We'll exhale to unwind, hands on thighs. You can remove the block. We're going to slowly fold and place the block on your left side. When you inhale, take monkey pose. That's the extended spine. Fold, hands to the mat. Hop or step back, plank pose. Choose the sequence that you want to do at this moment. We're just going to meet together in down dog. So you can kind of mix it up right here, add what you want, or skip the whole thing and come right into down dog. Okay, so once you're in down dog, we'll continue. We'll be adding on. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up, straight line first, and then bend the knee, heel towards backside, lifting the knee. Inhale again, listen. You're going to exhale and bring this right knee underneath you and point toward your left elbow. So right knee is going to point toward your left elbow. It's a little bit, I call it a core twist. And then take that right leg back up into the sky behind you, straight line, yes? Right foot to the top of the mat, back to our warrior one, setting it up. Once you've landed, turn left heel to the floor, take your time, shifting, and then rising, warrior one. There it is. Exhale, opening to warrior two. That's it. Set yourself up. Feel grounded and connected right there. Here comes our side angles. Reach out. Rotate the arms here. Left hand's going to go straight up, but then follow this left hand over your head towards the front of the room. Okay, so you feel this left side body stretch. Okay, stay up high if you need to. As your left hand is reaching, also press this left foot a little bit more into the floor, yes? A little bit more length through that left side. And as you're able, we're turning your gaze upward, like as if you're looking past the left hand or up towards the ceiling. Okay. We're just going to breathe in right here. And exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor. Let's step back into plank pose. And as you're able, let's keep the right foot lifted. So in a straight line in plank. You do that same thing. So right knee towards left elbow. See if we're going to hold that for a moment. You don't have to touch the elbow. It's just kind of pointing in that direction. See if you can keep yourself lifted. Okay. Go back to plank. Re-extend the leg. You can keep the foot lifted or set the toes down to finish your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Yes, rest whenever you need to. Good. Other side when you're ready. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Reach, straight line, then bend and twist open. Bend the knee. A little lift of the knee. There's our twist. Breathe in and exhale. Left knee underneath you towards your right elbow. Right there. We'll take it right back up into the sky. Straight line. Left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. As you're transitioning, breathe. Right heel turns to the floor. Find your center. Hinge from hips when you're ready. Long spine. Warrior one. Reaching straight up. You've got to exhale, opening to your warrior two. Adjust. Settle in. Left knee and toes pointing directly forward. Nice. Here comes our side angle. Right hand's going to reach straight up, but then follow this right hand over your head towards the front of the room and get some extension through the right side of the body. Meanwhile, the right foot is really rooted strongly into the floor. So press. You're going to feel some activation in that outer right thigh too. Carefully as you're able, turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. We're breathing in, and our exhale, returning, folding. Hands to the mat, back to our plank pose. Left foot lifted. Strong straight line. Same thing, left knee towards right elbow. Hold for a couple breaths. The exhale is kind of like you're wringing it out. Let's re-extend that left leg. Foot can stay lifted or set the toes on the floor, completing your series. Hold for a breath in down dog. We're going to come to seated, so maybe kneel down first, sit back briefly in hero, take a seat. Bring the legs around to the front, just cross your legs. You can do easy pose, whatever feels comfortable here. You can cross your legs. You can even sit on a block if you want to, if you need a little extra support and lift. Something I like to do. So something like this. Okay, I'm going to turn around so I don't get my left and right confused for this next part. All right, so we're nice and tall here. Left hand either by your side or kind of behind you, just something that's going to help prop you up, okay, and just keep you nicely extended through the spine. And take your arm out to the right corner of the room here, just straight out like that. Okay? Because we're going to twist, but I want you to be able to twist using your own musculature and breath rather than pulling into the pose, if that makes sense. So left hand's behind us, we have the right arm here. Inhale, grow tall, maybe with the assistance of that back hand. Exhale, pull belly in and start to twist or turn gently towards the left side until you just kind of naturally stop. Then the right arm can come around, anchor it on the outer left thigh or knee, okay, just to hold you in place. So you're able to turn on your own without mechanically trying to pull yourself into the pose. Staying here, check in. Now you might be able to go a little deeper into the rotation, but not necessary. If anything, you might want to soften it. Okay? Not overly rotate, not to stress out the muscles or the body. Okay? Let's check in with our neck. So nice and lengthen through the whole neck. Inhale. As you exhale, continue to turn your head to the left side towards left shoulder until it just naturally stops. Again, not forcing it. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Soften it if you need to. Inhale, grow tall right where you are. Exhale, pull belly in. It's a way of securing and supporting the body as we now unwind, facing forward. Let's bring both hands to maybe your knees or thighs. You might even feel how your body is still kind of coming back to this centered place. You can kind of shake things out if you need to. And then the other side, same thing. So we got the right hand somewhere to help brace yourself. Sitting up tall, we have the left arm out to the corner of the room. Breathing in to find that extension. Exhale, pull belly in and start to rotate until you just naturally stop. Then this left arm can come around, anchor it on the outer right thigh or knee, and hold here. Keep breathing. Each inhale, you still want to feel like you're extending through the spine, growing longer, taller. The exhale, just a gentle pull of belly in, engaging the core muscles. Soften it if you need to. Let's check in with the neck. Inhale, lengthening through the neck and head. Exhale, slowly turn your head towards the right shoulder, or until it just stops. Again, not forcing. Three more breaths. Taking a fourth breath to inhale, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in to support body as you move and unwind, coming back to neutral here. Right, if you're on a block, let's come off the block. Extend the legs. Your boat pose. Again, this could be your boat pose. You can lift the feet. Okay, breathing in. And exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back into plank pose. Bend your knees, hips to sky, downward facing dog, just a shortcut. If you moved your block from that left side, reposition your block or a block on your left side. Here we go. We're going to add on. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Right knee underneath you towards left elbow as you exhale. Right knee towards left elbow. A little twist. Right leg back up into the sky, straight line. Right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Left heel plants into the floor. Shift to find center. Hands will be light. Hinge from hips. Rise up. First warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Okay, let's reverse the warrior here, where you'll flip the right palm up, reach up into the air. So the gaze might be upward. If you need support for the back, you might even place your left hand on your left hip. Gazing upward. We're going to do this big windmill. Okay, so we're going to take the right arm down, left arm will come up. Big circle with the arms. This left hand's going to come down to the floor or bring in that block that's on the left side to give you a little bit of height. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you to give you a little bit more height and alignment. And that right arm is just going to reach right up into the air. And again, the gaze can be upward past the right hand. If this is a strain on the neck, adjust. You can always look down or just something more comfortable for your head and neck. I'm using this block to give me a lift. It gives me space in the torso so I can rotate. Let's breathe in. Exhale, let's bring the hands to the floor. If you got one block, let's move that block over to the right side. Plant the hands, slide right foot back, plank pose. Right foot's lifted. Right knee to left elbow. We hold for 2 breaths. Maybe a nice active exhale to wring it out. Re-extend that right leg. Keep it lifted or set the toes down, finishing your sequence as you'd like. Meeting in down dog. Rest if you need to. All right, Other side. Here we go. Inhale, extend left leg up. Good. Bend and twist. Okay, left knee underneath you towards your right elbow. Exhale to get there. Inhale, take it right back up into the sky, straight line. Left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Go at your own pace. Right heel turns to the ground, finding your center, float up. First warrior. Exhale, opening, warrior two. Adjusting the feet, reversing the warrior. Left palm will turn up, reach up. Now, this angled reach, or this reaching with the left hand, it might be slightly forward. It might be straight up at 12 o'clock. It could even be slightly behind you, which creates more of a bend in the body. Maybe gazing upward if that feels okay on the neck. Here we do that big windmill again. Okay, so the right hand's going to come down to the floor or block. Rise up onto the tiptoes behind you. The left arm, a big circle until it's pointing up towards the ceiling as you're able. Using that block to give you some height and space really through the waistline so you can twist. Gazes upward if it feels okay. Or keep the neck more neutral. We're breathing in. And our exhale, left hand to the floor, sliding left foot back, plank pose. Left foot's lifted. With an exhale, left knee towards right elbow. Hold 2 breaths. Realign by extending that left leg. Toes can stay lifted or set them down, finishing your sequence. Gently bring the knees to the floor. You'll be on hands and knees for a moment, and you'll probably get right at the center of your mat. What you'll do is kind of crawl over to the left edge of your mat, still on hands and knees, and then sit back into hero if you're able. So you're going to have a little bit of space on your right side. And so what you'll do, both hands on the right side, you're going to sit over to the right. Now I usually like to have something to sit on. I guess I can use my block. Again, my back is just not conducive to do that. And so I like to sit on a folded blanket or a block just to have a little bit of height. You are kind of naturally displaced, and that's part of this sensation. But both hands over here are fingertips pushing into the floor to sit up tall. Inhale, and our exhale to carefully rotate to the right. This left hand or arm can just be braced against the thigh, holding you in place. And just as we did with the other twist, continue with the neck or head turning towards right shoulder. So we're kind of facing or twisting towards the right side of the room in this mermaid pose. 2 more breaths, not going to be here too long. Since we're facing that right side, that's where we're going to go to get out of the pose. So walk your hands towards the right side of the room, towards the wall, out of the posture. Press to get up onto hands and knees, coming back up to center, like so. And you're still probably on that left edge. Just shift over to the right edge. And then you can sit back. Okay, if you've got a prop like a blanket or using that block, we'll sit off to the left side. Either on the floor if that feels okay for you, or using a prop. Hands on the floor, fingertips on the floor to help you stay extended. Inhale. Exhale, still trying to use your own torso, musculature, and breath to rotate rather than this hand pulling you into the posture. Just use the hand to help hold you in the posture. Turning the head to the left towards left shoulder if it feels okay. A little mermaid twist. 3 more breaths. Same thing to get out of the pose. Crawl towards the left wall. And crawl up onto hands and knees. Shift to center. And then cat and cow. So inhale, lift head and heart. Little arch of the back, a little back bend. And then round it out, exhale. Navel to spine, chin to chest. And just to kind of get the hips back into place. A nice undulation through the spine. A few more breaths. Go at your own pace with this. Okay, finish the breath that you're on. Maybe just one more. Finish in a neutral tabletop position. Neck is neutral, your gaze is downward, just right between the thumbs. Then again, as you're able, sit back into hero pose. You can always just sit off to the side. Just want to show you something. We've already done this, but just going to add a little bit to it. Okay, so we're back in our warrior 2. We are going to reverse the warrior. And if you are reversing the warrior, let's keep the arms straight. So we got propeller arms here reaching. And keep those propeller arms as we do this big windmill right down to the floor. See how my back hand or arm just stays straight? And then just right into that rotation. Okay? It's kind of a superhero landing. Okay. Just like that, okay? All right, from your hero, just sit off to the side. Swing the legs around to the front. You got that block on the left side ready to go. Back to a boat pose. Okay, we're going to move, breathe in like you're floating into the air. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side so you can make your way back into plank pose. Shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, hips into the air. Another full breath in. Exhale, hop, step, or walk, both feet up to the top of the mat to forward fold. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Another fold here. Shifting your weight into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse the swan dive. Get that nice stretch here at the top. Exhale, arms to your side. Okay. A little check-in. There you go. Nice check-in with the body. Wrists, fingers, elbows, shoulders, neck. Okay. So we'll start the sequence, chair pose with a twist to the right, and we'll continue with the sequence. Okay. Here we go. Breathe in, reaching into the sky. Exhale, chair pose. As you're taking your seat, bring hands to heart center, high or low seat. Breathing in, more length in the spine. Exhale, pull belly in, squeeze an imaginary block. In the rotation, mild if need be, to the right side. Yes. Not here long. We're going to breathe in. Exhale, unwind, hands on thighs to realign, and then just slowly slide to your forward fold. Bend the knees more, getting low enough to place hands on the mat. Hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you like. Chaturanga Dandasana. Any variation of a flow here is fine. This is all the same. Up dog if you're moving through the sequence. Downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Right knee, left elbow. Exhale to get there. Right back up into the sky. Straight line. Right foot to the top of the mat, warrior 1. Go at your own pace. I know my instructions are getting faster. Rising up, first warrior. Exhale, opening to warrior 2. Reversing your warrior. Getting ready for your superhero pose. Okay? Okay. That big windmill. Arms are straight, propeller arms. Left hand's going to come down to the floor or block. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. That right arm just swings around, reaching into the air. Maybe your gaze is upward. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Toes on the floor. We're going to skip that second one, the second knee to elbow. Okay, take a shortcut to down dog. Bend knees, hips into the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, hop, step, or walk. Both feet return to the top of the mat to your forward fold. If you have one block, move it to the other side. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Chair pose, Utkatasana, hands to heart. Ready for the other side. Breathing in, good length. Exhale, pull belly in, squeeze an imaginary block, twist to your left. Good, nice realignment there. Breathing in. Exhale, unwind, hands on thighs. Slide down. Good monkey pose, that's the extended spine. Down we go, bend the knees, hands to the floor. Hop or step back plank, come down as you're able, chaturanga. Any variation of a flow here is good. Once in down dog, inhale, extend left leg up. Bend and twist. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Right back up into the sky. Straight line down dog. Left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Hinging your way up. Exhale, expand and open, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Maybe your gaze is upward. Okay, big windmill, superhero pose. Okay, right hand down to the floor or block, rise up onto tiptoes behind you. That left arm, straight as can be, comes from behind and up into the air. Good job. Breathing in. All right, exhale, plant both hands on the mat. You can do that block. Slide left foot back. A regular plank here is fine. Hold. Let's bring knees to the floor. Okay, stay here on hands and knees. One more twist. Thread the needle. Let's set it up. This is how I like to set this up. So we're on hands and knees. We're going to step the left hand forward just a little bit, just a little. And then move that left hand to the left side of your mat a little bit. Then you're going to turn your left palm inward so the middle finger is pointing towards the 1 or 2 on a clock. Okay, you might need to adjust this a little bit. Lean into that left hand so you can take your right arm out to the right side. That's an in-breath. And we're going to exhale and carefully rotate. Maybe you'll just come down to the elbow, or if you're able, go all the way through down to the shoulder. Now this left hand just acts as a way for you to get out of the pose eventually. Hips are active. Yeah, you want to still feel like they're being drawn back to the back edge of your mat. That way the spine stays long and lengthened as it twists. 2 breaths. Wring it out. Okay, to get out of the pose, we'll use that left hand, just push into the floor so you can lift, unthread. Maybe you take that right arm out to the right side if you like. And then both hands to the floor. Adjust the hands and get set up for the other side. So we're stepping the right hand forward a bit, out to the right side a little bit. Turn that palm in. It's ready to go. Left arm out to the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Thread the needle, either just down to the elbow or all the way down to the floor with the shoulder as you're able. The right arm kind of forms a right angle. Adjust the hand as need be. That gets you out of the posture. Meanwhile, active hips being drawn back towards the feet or the back edge of your mat, keeping an aligned torso as it rotates. 2 more breaths. Getting out of the pose when you're ready. Just push into the floor with the right hand so you can lift, unthread. Maybe left arm out to the side, yes. Hands on the floor. Cat, cow. Okay, maybe 2 or 3 breaths or as many as you need here. When you feel complete, you can just sit back into hero briefly, off to the side, legs around to the front. Come to cobbler's pose for a moment and just sit up tall. I'm going to give you an option for this next little movement here. We are going to come onto our backs. You can bring knees into chest. You can even take legs up into the air. As you're able to bring the legs together, maybe arms out to the side, you're just going to kind of create a little twist, okay? Just like this. There's a little shift in the hips, basically, just to kind of rotate, but you'll see how the legs kind of turn, okay, with the toes pointed. That's one way you can do this. Here's another way. Come to a variation of
shoulder stand by lifting the hips and just literally sit in your hands. Something like this, I'm just sitting in my hands. And again, I'm going to kind of set myself over to my right hand and twist to the right. Okay, so I'm just kind of sitting in my right hand, twisting to the right, and then switching. Sit, there we go. A little twist. Okay, so those are our options there. Okay, so coming out of cobbler's pose, you can lie down, you can hug knees in for a little massage there if you'd like. And then find your leg extension, either lying flat on the floor, legs in the air, or come to that variation of shoulder stand where you're sitting in your hands. Okay, and that little twist. So if you're sitting in your hands, like if you're sitting in your left hand, okay, you're going to kind of twist the body a little bit. Kind of affects the hips and back and torso. There you go. And if you're on the floor doing this, it's really getting into the hips much more. A little rotation there. Okay, just both directions. You can twist and hold, or just kind of do the Maytag agitator in your washing machine. Is that what that is? Dropped a name brand there. 3 more breaths wherever you are. There you go. Whenever you feel complete with these dynamic rotations, just make your way back down to the earth. You can hug knees into chest and choose a hip opener. It could be happy baby pose, it could be reclining cobbler's pose. Just a hip opener that feels good. One way you can do child's pose, happy baby pose, you don't have to hold onto the bottom of the feet. You can just hold onto your shins and just take the legs open. Yeah. Very good. If there's any other pose or movement that your body would appreciate at this moment, feel free to take that movement or pose. And whenever you feel complete with everything, you might just do one more stretch where you extend the legs out front, reach the arms behind you, nice extension, and then just relax. Come to Shavasana or any relaxing pose. Again, if there's any other pose you'd like to do first, it might be another back bend, hip opener, or twist even. Go ahead and take those postures first. Before you come to resting, maybe just one final stretch, and then completely relax. That can be in Shavasana. You can even bend your knees with feet on the floor in Shavasana. You can lie on your side. You can even come up to seated. Use props to support your body as you need to. Wherever you are, relax, release. Stay right where you are, no need to move just yet. Just check in with your breathing. Slow, steady breaths. Continued softening of the body. Perhaps your twisting practice help release and help you open to release. any binding or tightness in the body. Breathing it out. Again, returning to the awareness of your breath. Taking 5 slow, deep breaths, full and complete, filling yourself up. Allowing movement to return to your body. And after your 5th breath, moving as slowly as you can, roll onto either side of your body. You might hold there for a moment in this nurturing pose. Then continue to move in slow motion and guide your way up to seated. Once you're tall in your seat, you can just relax your hands in your lap or bring hands to heart center. Finish with one final breath in and out. As we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow, saying, Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.